Psalms 51:10 is he says this, create in me a pure heart and renew a steadfast spirit within. He had come to the place in his life where he realized that although I love you, my flesh and my body keeps failing me. I keep doing, just like what Paul said later on, I keep doing the things I don't want to do. Will you please create in me a pure heart? I cannot do this myself. I cannot. Will you please create in me a pure heart? I hope that encourages you right there. For every single one of us who look in the mirror and just go, I don't pray as much as I used to. I say things I should not say. And I'm not going to wave at anybody in an aggressive manner in the car again. I'm not going to, God, help me. The pressure is not on you to be better. The pressure is on you to look to the person who can make you better. Everything depends on who you depend on. If you are depending on yourself to progressively make yourself better, you will always be disappointed. Becoming righteous and holy and walking with the Lord and knowing his ways and hearing his voice, that is not something that you can control like you turn up the volume in your car. You cannot make that happen. You can try to make it happen. You can try to make your heart more sensitive and say, be good, be good, be good, be good, be good. And then you stop kicking yourself. You cannot do it. The enemy wants to come along and says, look at you, look at you, look at you. Just know you cannot do this on your own. That's why he said, create in me a pure heart. And what's wonderful about God is that he sends angels out of his presence to the earth to create, Ezekiel 36:26, I will create in you a pure heart. Watch this. I was in Costa Rica a few weeks ago, and my family and I were going up this waterfall. Now, when I say I'm going up the waterfall, we are walking on the rocks. I don't know what we ate for breakfast to make us go crazy, but we're going up the rocks. We could have very easily just taken a pathway up. In fact, there were stairs over there. But no, Team Mazzapica wants to go up the rocks. Why? Because other people went up the rocks, so we're going to go up the rocks. So we're going up the rocks. While the waterfall is coming down, it's hitting rocks, splashing on the rocks that we're trying to climb up. Those rocks are so slippery. One slip, boom, 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 down the rocks, bye-bye, I'm flying with cherubims. Beep, 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 I'm gone. As I'm going up, I'm holding my 7-year-old daughter's hand. She's scared. I'm pretending like I'm not scared. We're going up by the rock one at a time. All of a sudden, I look up, and there's a Tico smiling at me. Now, in Costa Rica, they call themselves Ticos and Ticas. And so I look up, and this young man, he's smiling at me. He comes running down the rocks barefoot. And I'm looking at him. He grabs my daughter, which all of us who are parents, we love our kids more than we love ourselves, right? If you're with me, say yes. He goes, he grabs my daughter, throws her over his own shoulder, and starts running up the waterfall. Just before I said, hey, get back here, I thought to myself, she's safer on his shoulders than she is in my hand. This Tico comes running down, saves her, and gives me an opportunity to find my source. I want you to know, it does not matter how much I concentrated. I cannot do what that Tico's been doing his entire life. I can concentrate, I can try, I can stare at the rocks, I can squeeze the rocks. I can't do what he did. The reality of the matter is that Tico came down just in the nick of time. And I owe him my life. Just Isaiah was standing in the presence of God. He was fully aware of his sins and he was feeling guilty. All of a sudden, an angel came flying down. In Isaiah chapter 6, verse 6, he comes flying down with a hot coal he had taken off the altar of the Lord with a pair of tongs. He touched his lips and said, "See, I have touched your lips with this coal. All of your guilt has been removed and your sins have been forgiven." All of the guilt. Sometimes God forgives us and we don't forgive ourselves. He goes, all the guilt is gone. In a moment, all the guilt is gone. What happened? In the same way that Tico came down and changed everything in a second, this angel comes down to Isaiah and takes all the guilt and all the shame away in a moment. And that's what David was asking. He goes, can you just create in me a pure heart, because I cannot do it myself. You saw what I just did. Then he says this in verse 17, 7 verses later, he says this. He goes, you do not desire any other sacrifice except for a broken spirit, for you will not reject a broken spirit and a repentant heart. Know this, that when we make a mistake, I didn't say if, because I'm older than 13 and I understand now. It's just what happens. When we make a mistake, the Lord does not want you to stick your head in a door and go bam, bam, bam. He does not want you to punish yourself. He only wants a repentant heart. A repentant heart. That's all he wants. The moment you have a repentant heart, everything changes. Everything changes. Have you ever noticed that you can water your grass for 12 days straight and see minimal growth? You can hold a water hose on top of a plant outside for an hour, almost kill the thing, walk away, barely see any growth. But if it rains, just for a couple hours, 1 hour, flowers everywhere, weeds everywhere, grass everywhere, all the grass. What? How in the world just one little drop of rain outweighs a gallon of water? How is that? Well, those of you who are really smart, you're thinking to yourself, Frankie, it's treated water. You're thinking to yourself, there's chlorine in that water. There's salts in that water. It's been treated so that when people drink it, it's safe. Okay, touche. However, let's keep this one thing in mind. One drop from the heavens causes more life than gallons of water that we've been doctoring.